Welcome back, and this is our Thanksgiving week. So we're filming this on Monday, and Thanksgiving is Thursday. I think for the county we're off Thursday and Friday, but I hope you guys have a great week. This is by far my favorite holiday. Not all the hustle and bustle of Christmas, and it's just the time to sit back and really, as the name says, as we're giving thanks for this week, I think it also helps you to understand just what a great place you're in. You know, things could be an awful lot worse. But last week, and we're out of court this week because of the shortened week, but last week we were in trial court and plea court. And in the plea court, we had Judge Tommy Cooper from Manning, around that area. He was our plea judge, and then we had Judge Hayes that was our trial judge, and he's from Spartanburg. The reason that all of these out-of-town judges are here is that even though Horry County is the fastest growing area in the nation, we have one judge. So I don't know that you could get that mismanaged any worse, but there is a ton of judges from Marion and Florence, and there's a ton of judges from Williamsburg and Manning, and we've got one. So we have a lot of visiting judges every week because there's a lot of stuff to do. We got to move these 10,000 warrants somehow. There's a couple of them this week, and the first one was a Marion County man. A guy came over from Marion, and his name was DeMonte Curry, 22. He pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 23 years. He killed a young man named Jeffrey Monette. This appears to have been a drug deal that went bad. A lot of our crimes do revolve around drugs, generally speaking, and this is no exception. The drug dealer will try to rob the drug user, or the drug user will try to rob the drug dealer, because there is amounts of cash that will be there. And sometimes those robberies turn into murders. And so, I tell people all the time, any bad thing can happen to all of us. Just wrong place, wrong time. Most of the murders that you hear about on the news will involve a robbery and will involve drugs, and this is one of them. So one young man is dead, and the other one's going to spend 23 years in prison over that. In another case, and this didn't have anything to do with drugs, but this was a series of bad guys that went out to rob a food line up in Longs as it was closing down. Obviously, that turned into some shooting. James Laverne Bellamy, 51, of Tabor City, pled guilty to accessory after the fact of murder and criminal conspiracy to commit armed robbery in connection with one of those robberies. It was a series. It wasn't just at Food Line. Then they went and robbed another place that was like a hotel up in Loris on the way back to North Carolina. It was a really, really tough case. I was out there the night of that murder. The hotel was called the Carolina Inn. As you're leaving Loris, you'll see it over on the right. So that's where all of those charges came from, and Bellamy was sentenced to 10 years for his part in those crimes. There were several defendants involved. In the other courtroom, and this is why I sort of feel a little bit angry about how this all went down. In the other courtroom, we were set to try a murder case, and we had brought all of these people in from New York as witnesses. It involved a boyfriend and girlfriend breaking up, and the girlfriend was staying with her cousin at an apartment complex. The boyfriend was really tied up in all of that and very angry, and had shown up over there. When she come back from dinner with her cousins, she ran upstairs. The cousins were asking, at least from the state's perspective, the boyfriend to go on home. You know, let's talk about this in the morning, cooler heads. One of the cousins ended up getting shot and killed. The defense attorney had asked for a stand your ground, basically saying to the judge, please don't let the prosecutors prosecute my guy. Stand your ground was always created for if a person is breaking into your home and you shoot that person, it prohibits or bars the state from being able to go against you. And the whole fallacy in that is we have never gone against, we didn't need to be told by law not to prosecute the person that is defending their home. What's happened now is almost every murder case, whether it's a drug rip, you know, anything like that, it's always stand your ground. And you'd be, as a defense attorney, you would be derelict in your duties not to do stand your ground and just give it a try, see what happens. So anyway, that stand your ground took Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The judge held jurisdiction on that, so we still don't know if the judge is going to bar the state. In this case, it's the state's contention that the shooter was on private property away from his home, I guess standing somebody else's ground. But anyway, it took us 3 days to try. Certainly we couldn't get the murder case in, so we had to send the victim's family back to New York, and we will have to reset that for trial. But I'll let you know as soon as the judge's decision comes out on this stand your ground. You might ask, why didn't we try it earlier? It was set, the stand your ground was set for 2 times earlier, but got continued, and then they backed up the stand your ground with the murder charge. So it was an impossible feat, and we got through Wednesday before we really figured all of that out. But anyway, enough of the bad. It is all about giving thanks. There's a lot more good than there is bad, so I hope that you will spend time with your family, eating turkey and watching football and just relaxing and spending some time with the most important people in our lives, our family and our friends. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will be back with you next week.